session's about to start, so I know most of the games get out in a second, but if there are any questions, quick. We got a couple seconds here, not long. Bell's ringing.
The bill was delayed today. Do you get any sense of why, or are they listening to some of these concerns, or slowing the process down like you have?
I hope so. I'm not sure if it's just going to be put on the calendar for next week, which isn't a lot of additional time. It's not even a full extra week. But we hope that that's a sign that we're trying to work. And ranking member.
You know, frankly, we can fix it. I mean, seriously, I mean, it's a big bill, but I mean, we can fix the bill. And like Chairman Mecklenburg said to me today, he said, you know, about an issue that I raised, and I said, hey, you know, Chairman, pretty easy to fix. We have more than enough amendments that we can fix this, and I think it'd be a big bipartisan bill pretty quickly.
Well, the Senate just received it today. The Government Oversight and Reform Committee, we had our first hearing today, was scheduled originally to be voted out on tomorrow. We're going to have a meeting today and a meeting on tomorrow and vote out. Thankfully, the chairman has pulled that back. Amendments are due by 4 o'clock today, and then possibly a substitute bill being drafted, and then next week, amendments on Tuesday. So thankfully, they gave us a week, but let's remember, not every member serves on, in my chamber, the Government Oversight and Reform Committee, and in the other chamber, the Elections Committee, so that we need time, as we received it today, we need time to review it, to go over it with our constituents, and then to talk to some of the groups that have been working on this issue, such as the League of Women Voters, for long periods of time.
We've already seen the negative impact of what 159 could do, the poll tax bill that it clearly is. We don't need this to be poll tax plus being in the form of House Bill 194. We don't need to make matters worse. We don't need to throw more roadblocks. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you should want every single vote in the state to count. And instead of racing this through, we should be working together. They should be willing to work with us to work together, so that we can ensure every Ohio vote counts.
Yeah, but county officials not express support for some of these provisions that you're critiquing, and if so, well, what does that say about, I guess, the partisan argument that you're making as the partisan motives of the House?
A number of county officials have objected. There's a few who received some opposition here, but in committee there were a number of large urban counties that came in and objected to many provisions that are in this. For instance, the lack of mailing. Right now, the lines are short in large cities and under heavy election pressure. And with this bill, that would not happen. They would go back to the old standing in line and trying to figure out what to do next. There were county officials who protested that part of the bill and came in for it.
And I can say from Hamilton County that Board of Elections officials have contacted me. One of their number one concerns, because we're dealing with this provisional ballot issue, is they want some clarity and uniformity, and they'd like to see House Bill 76 incorporated into this reform bill.
And election officials are a very important part of this process, and we want to work with them. But Ohio voters are also a very, very important part of this process. So I've served as an election official. It's an important job, and we need their input. But Ohio voters, I think their input is, number one to us.
And this can't come down to just saving dollars. This has to come down to making votes count. And I think we can find that balance between making this more cost effective, but at the same time making it very effective for voters.
One of the issues the voters are most concerned about is a privacy issue. Issues around the 9-digit Social Security number being used rather than just the last 4 digits, which many other states use, or the driver's license. And that's an issue that we should be listening to the voters on.
And clearly, the voters in 2010 did not vote for radical change and for infringement on their right to self-determination. Clearly, the intention of this bill is going to shift the opportunity to vote to no opportunity. That should not happen in democracy.
Bill, did you like?
I think one area that many people believe needs reform, and I certainly do, is our provisional ballot. You know, we have, as I said in my prepared remarks, we are have the third most amount of provisional ballots of any other state. We had over 200,000 of them in 2008, and close to 40,000 of those were not counted. That to me is a serious problem, that we're not counting enough votes. And I think that many people on both sides of the aisle agree that that's a process we need to reform. Where I think the disagreement comes in is how we reform it. I think this bill will make the situation worse.